Hello, everybody. It's me again. I tried waiting for Anglantine, but I don't know if he maybe fell asleep. I was hoping he would be with me to talk about. There we go. Sorry, I had to pause the video because I was hearing myself. That's kind of weird. So we were supposed to be talking about Punisher season 2, and um, is it going to get woke? So let me share my screen, and we can take a look at some of these articles here. Specifically, the one from One Angry Gamer and the Collider one, which they are referencing. I think this is it. Come on, share. Screen share, get going. Man, these things are slow sometimes. Okay, there we go. So hopefully you guys can see my screen. What's up, Samurai Raccoon? How's it going, man? Yeah, of course it's gonna get woke. I hope not. But then again, this is Netflix, and it seems like um, all of their series have been kind of getting woke, with the exception of The Punisher last season. I mean, it got a little political, but not like super heavy. But Jessica Jones, identity politics, left and right, feminism, rah rah rah, yay! So here we are, season 2 of Punisher. Yeah, I agree. The first season wasn't too bad. It was pretty decent. Excuse me, it was pretty decent. But season 2 had a lot of man hating in it. And let's see. Luke Cage, first season wasn't too bad. It wasn't really a whole lot of identity politics. Season 2, they kind of slipped some stuff in there, specifically when they had Coates' book being referenced in there. So, yeah. Yes, Defenders was definitely a mess. Not a huge fan of the Defenders or how it ended. But anyway, The Punisher. Is it going to be woke? Let's find out. Okay, so I know that one thing we've been hearing a lot from Kevin Feige talking about how the cinematic universe is going to get more diverse and inclusive. We all know, and they kind of spell it out right here. That tends to be code for fewer straight white males. Yeah. If that's what they're trying to do, then yeah, okay, that's a bit of a problem. I don't have a problem with them wanting to go and branch out and get other characters in. I'm fine with them doing female centric movies. I think that's cool if you can get a good character and a good actor to play that character. I think it would be pretty badass to see a She-Hulk movie. Part of my issue is, why didn't they do this beforehand? I mean, how many faces have we had? 4 at this point, and you couldn't have had a Black Widow movie? That seems kind of ridiculous. But I don't know. I'm kind of concerned to see how things turn out, specifically starting with Captain Marvel, to see if it starts really pushing the left wing identity politics. That's not going to be good. And so what they're doing. What they're going to be doing with Punisher is they have him going up against a Christian fundamentalist, who is, let's see here, John Pilgrim. That's the dude's name. So Collider did this interview. I didn't get a chance to get all the way through it, but yeah, it really doesn't reveal a whole lot. My issue, unless they're doing a story like God Loves, Man Kills, as I totally butchered that totally makes sense to go and have a fundamentalist preacher, because it has something to do with mutants, and you can call them abominations, and blah 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 blah, and that could work a lot better than the Punisher. And so they also talk about how the guy's gonna be alt-right, and it seems like it's gonna be a bit too ham-fisted for what we're trying to do these days. It's gonna be a bloody mess. Let's see. There's already a Black Punisher in comics continuity for it. Yeah, I don't think that's what they're kind of trying to do. Fragmented. Let's see. Didn't we all make fun of Christian fundamentalists a few years back? Yeah, we did. We did that throughout the 80s and 90s. You had the religious right, which was a bit of a joke, and for years they were the ones that were calling out video games and movies and saying that they're bad and all this stuff, and very anti-sex, and you're kind of seeing the exact same thing coming from the identitarian left now, because we can't have escapism anymore, and that's kind of really annoying. But overall, I don't think Christian fundamentalism is all that. I don't want to say important. It's just not. It's not present anymore. There's a lot of things that they could have put him up against. It could have been, terrorists. It could have been, drug dealers. He could be going up against the cartels. You could do something with human smuggling. There's all these things that are more kind of socially relevant if they wanted to go that bent than using Christians. It's stupid. It really is stupid. As a ham-fisted, as Miss Marvel. Thanks, Eric. But yeah, like I was saying, there's a lot of things that they could have done and had it be more relevant. Yeah, and speaking of Jigsaw, I thought they were setting up season 2 for Jigsaw, but I guess not. It doesn't matter at this point because it's going to get canceled anyway. Maybe they're planning on bringing him back in season 3 because they do weird things like that with the series. They don't want to, I guess, kind of bore you with the same character, but I don't know. Anyway, the other thing too that One Angry Gamer points out is that Frank Castle himself is pretty right wing himself, being pro gun. I don't know if they've really delved into his politics or whatnot in the comics. They probably didn't, because this seems to be more of a recent thing. I wish Weaponized Nerd Rage was around. I know that he is a huge Punisher fan, and he could really kind of dig into some of the stuff, or talk about some of the stuff. But overall, it just seems like a really kind of bad decision at this point. Yeah, Billy Russo he is in season 2, but he's not being called Jigsaw. Oh, that's interesting, Eric. I'm actually surprised by that. Excuse me. Need some water. I haven't really checked out the casting list to see who that they have. I know that they list some of the cast here. Let's see here. Yep, not seen him. But this Josh Stewart guy, he's the one who's gonna be playing John Pilgrim. Kind of sounds like Jon Snow. Classic punny. In the comics was always shooting, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, God sort him out, yeah. But I don't know. This I'm kind of concerned about what's going to be happening with the Marvel MCU, probably like the rest of you guys out there. Where things are going to be going. If the next phase is going to be all female, what are we going to see? Obviously, we're going to get Captain Marvel, and then I think we're supposed to be getting finally a Black Widow movie. No idea at this point. Like I said, I want to see a She-Hulk movie. That would be great. Punisher has killed kids in Daredevil during Frank Castle's run. Frank Miller's run. Yeah. I like the one where it happened. It came out a couple years ago. Yeah. The phase is female. A couple years back where they had Frank Castle in LA, and he was going up against drug dealers and the cartels. That was a really good run. Probably the last good run, maybe with the exception, I guess, what's been coming out recently. I haven't kept up with the Punisher ever since the whole thing with Marvel being really woke. Okay, no, Comics Division is not Captain Marvel. It's Captain Planet. Or Captain Plank. Or it could be Planet. Is that what you're saying, Sky Commander? Are you trying to say Planet or Plank? I suck at typing too. Just throwing that out there. You used to see me try and type in the chat sometimes. I blame my keyboard and my fingers at the same time. Okay, Captain Plank. Got it, dude. Let's see here. There is another thing I wanted to talk about too. Let me go and pull this article up real quickly. Hopefully my internet's not gonna be too shitty. These articles were loading kind of slow earlier. Oh, there we go. So it turns out the reporter at The Verge didn't disclose the personal relationship with Zoe Quinn when she was interviewed for Goddess Mode. That's kind of interesting, considering that was like the whole thing that Zoe Quinn was kind of known for with Gamergate was, you know, these journalists having relationships with her and giving her good reviews on her games. If you guys aren't familiar with Gamergate, I really wasn't paying attention to what was going on. This is mainly what I've read over the years was, basically Zoe Quinn had this game called Depression Quest, and she had a boyfriend and slept with a games journo who gave her really good reviews. Yeah, and it was a big fucking mess. It turned into Gamergate. Go figure. Yeah, I know. Sky Commander, not Zoe Quinn. God help us all. But yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like history is repeating itself here. But this time it's a woman. I don't know if they're sleeping together. Maybe they are. I honestly don't care. But still, it's when it comes to ethics in journalism, you're supposed to typically disclose if you have any kind of personal relationship with these individuals that you're dealing with, that you're reporting on. And again, that wasn't being handled in the actual interview. So you have these tweets that go back and forth between Laura Hudson and Zoe Quinn. Oh, Eglantine is finally messaging me. I think he might be jumping on. Hopefully. We'll see. Hang on, let me message him back. Tell him to jump on. Because I can't hold stream by myself when I don't plan things out very well. Anyway, okay. Where was I? Disclosure. How's your father slept with Zoe Quinn? Why would you do that to yourself, dude? I swear, ethics in journalism today is like a scene from Billy Madison about ethics in business. Yeah, it's kind of sad. It's kind of disgusting how things are being reported these days in gaming and comics. But yeah, so she was promoting Goddess Mode, and why is this stupid video trying to pop up here? I hate this crap. So I have ad block, but apparently it's failing me today. So she was being interviewed by Laura Hudson for Goddess Mode, to promote her book. And apparently, I don't know what kind of relationship they had. I mean, there's a bunch of tweets that are going through here that they list in this Bound into Comics article. But yeah, who knows, man? Let me see. Ah, there he is. Sweet, you're saving me.
Hey.
How's it going, dude?
Say again. It's going okay. I'm sitting here and we're watching Unfortunate Events, and I just zonk right out. Sorry about that.
I mentioned, I was like, I bet he fell asleep.
I absolutely did, yes.
It's cool, dude. So what's up?
That's just about it. My day has been making videos, preparing to make the next video, and not much else. Not even. Just a very easy day.
Oh, right on, dude. Right on.
Except for some weirds happen. Like when I eat now, I get really, really sleepy.
I think that's called a food coma.
Yeah, it happens every time, no matter how much. And yeah, like right now, man. Oh, dude, I could just crash.
How much carbs did you eat?
All of them.
Well, that's your problem.
Yeah, that is really the problem. I do know. Yeah, like for lunch, I had one of those cup of noodles, and then we had rice at dinner. So yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Vakeman says you're slowly dying.
Oh, we're on now. Okay, I didn't know
Yeah,
we were still live. Hey,
we're
what's up?
actually live.
Okay, shit. All right.
I waited like 10 minutes for you. I was like, well, I should go ahead and get started then.
Oh, sorry, man. I'm glad to know. It's like, oh, what have you been doing? I don't know. It was like 45 minutes of ball scratching, went right on into this really gassy field. Yeah, I mean, that could have gotten embarrassing there.
Well, you know, it makes for good entertainment, I guess.
Yeah, that's so. My daughter's here with me. Say hello. Hello. Okay, there you go. And she just saw me. I was like, "Holy shit!" I just kind of popped up, and it's like, I just remembered. I don't know how late it is, but yeah. And that I caught you my entire day. That's it, right up until literally right now. So,
I've been playing Borderlands 2 with the wife most of the day. That's what I've been doing.
Borderlands is against my religion.
Oh, why is that? Have you played it?
The whole Satan thing. I don't know.
Come on, dude. You have like an Xbox or something. You should somewhat be familiar.
Whoa. Hold on. She has a name, sir.
Okay, how about this modern day console? Not slang for women's body parts.
Yeah, actually, my daughter got me a few video games for the Xbox One now. Got me that Resident Evil Biohazard. I played a little bit of that. That's actually kind of scary. That's the first one that actually can put the frights into you. And of course, I tried to play Madden, but you got to sign up for Madden, like active. What is it? EA Sports account now. It took like 15 minutes just to find a way to play the damn game. I was like, I don't know. It's too much. Just let me turn on a freaking video game and play it.
Yeah, so it's all about live play these days. That seems like the trend, one of the trends in gaming, besides microaggressions. Oh, sorry, I meant microtransactions.
Yeah, live gaming would be more fun if it wasn't for the other people.
Yeah. According to subject to change, you don't have to sign up for that. I guess maybe if you want to play online, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't like to very often, unless I know the people, you know, because there's been too many times I've gone online. It's all, you know, assholes and elbows. I don't know where I was going with that. I lost it.
That's okay. It's fair.
So topic of the day is Punisher season 2 getting woke.
Yeah.
Fun times. Did you already go over? How late am I, by the way? I don't even see the
you're about
time here.
I would say 20 minutes late.
Oh, okay. Well, about right for everything.
Yeah, we're supposed to be starting at 10:30, so yeah. That's cool. I did talk about it, but we can definitely go and revisit the topic because it was just me talking to myself. So I'm fine with well, how about this? Let's finish off with the Zoe Quinn stuff that I was talking about, and then we can jump back over to that.
Okay, that's cool.
Did you see the article? What's that?
Looking up porn. My daughter's looking up porn and drawing pictures.
Okay.
That is so weird. I'm just kidding. She has reference things, and occasionally they pop up, and I just make fun of her about it.
Nice.
Yeah. If you need any Asian references, I've got a collection.
Well, there you go.
Just these are the kind of jokes that I tell around my kids. So yeah, that's why they were taken away for 5 years. All right.
For good reason, apparently.
Apparently so. Yeah.
So I have to ask you, Angleton, are you familiar with who Zoe Quinn is?
I do now. Yes, she is the brilliant writer of Godspeed Send, something like that, on Vertigo Comics.
Goddess Mode?
That's it.
Yeah. Goddess not.
I read that book, and I have done a video on it. And yes, I forgot the title. Yes, Goddess Mode. I am still sleeping right now.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So what did you think of Goddess Mode?
Boring as hell, man. Seriously. I was expecting really, really bad, and what I got was really, really dull. I prefer bad.
I heard it was really about as dull as Depression Quest was, which was the video game she created. That was,
Okay.
yeah. So to give you kind of the rundown again, so you know about Gamergate, right? You heard of that?
Yeah, yeah. I've
Okay.
got a working knowledge.
So Zoe Quinn is kind of the eye of the storm of Gamergate. It happened because of her. And
Mhm.
what happened is that she created this game called Depression Quest. I never checked it out. I don't care to. I'm not going to give Zoe Quinn money, even just to see how crappy of a game she created. And her boyfriend, her boyfriend were really kind of two very progressive individuals. I think they're both vegans or something like that. And so apparently she was sleeping with this games journalist who reviewed her game and gave her game really good reviews. And he kind of found out about it and blew the whistle, which kind of led into the whole Gamergate explosion. And the boyfriend called her Five Guys because during that time period, apparently she was sleeping with 5 different dudes. So
Not that she made very, very good hamburgers.
No, not that she made hamburgers at all. Apparently, being a vegetarian. So we all know that she kind of made her career off of playing the victim card, and for whatever reason, DC Comics, in their infinite wisdom, gave her a comic book because why not? I guess. So apparently.
That seems to be the clearest reasoning as far as to what they're doing with Vertigo.
Yeah, because reasons.
Because I mean, it really does feel like, hey, let's see if we can get some of this hatred over here. It seems to be going so well for Marvel. I don't understand what they're doing the whole Vertigo thing.
Yeah. So apparently, Zoe Quinn did an interview with Lauren Hudson from The Verge, and apparently Laura Hudson was quietly dismissed from The Verge for some reason, and this was her last article. I don't know if it was because of this article or if it was something that happened beforehand or whatnot, but one of the big issues here is that Laura Hudson and Zoe Quinn know each other. Anytime in journalism, if you're doing a piece on somebody, you have to disclose if you have any kind of relationship with them, either be it friends, romantic, etc. And apparently, there is a lot of tweets between Zoe Quinn and Laura Hudson. So it wasn't disclosed in the article that they knew each other, because at that point, if you disclose that, you can basically say you have a bias. And obviously, this is a very biased piece about her comic book. And like I said, this article here in Bounding into Comics, there is just a lot. Let me try and kill this.
Gotcha.
There we go. A lot of tweets between the two of them.
And so
they're being very friendly.
Okay. So she gives this rave review without saying that, we scissor each other more than a craft store, and it's a little bit shady.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Okay.
That's one thing I was kind of curious about too, is like, is this another intimate relationship, or is this somebody that they're just, very friendly?
Well, according to the social justice warrior, as far as fictional females, there can be no friends.
No, of course.
There's either hateful enemies or, lovers. So,
yeah. Dr. Vakeman, who you're referring to as being hot? You talking about Zoe Quinn or Laura Hudson? Because I'm going to go with no for Zoe Quinn.
I have seen pictures of her, and no.
Yeah. There's also naked pictures of her if you're really that interested in seeing what she looks like. I would advise against it.
There are so many pictures of other better looking people. I would no.
No. Yeah.
Wait, is heroin really chic? Then maybe she is pretty.
I wouldn't even say she's heroin chic. Let's see here. Zoe Quinn is the biggest hole in the industry. Gamergate exposed her. Yeah. Everyone knows that what she did was pretty terrible, and she kind of, I wouldn't say like ruined the career of her ex-boyfriend, but yeah, it's bad, dude. That dude is like super progressive too, and his name is like mud at this point. You know, people basically hate him for exposing what Zoe Quinn did.
Dang.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. A couple of years ago, I guess maybe it was a year and a half ago, I actually read this follow-up interview with him. I don't remember what website it was, if it was like the Federalist. I don't think it was the Federalist, but they actually I remember it was right around the time that Andromeda came out. They did this interview with the guy. I don't even remember the guy's name. And it was really interesting kind of seeing like his part of all this, his what he said, and basically how it kind of affected him and all this fun garbage.
Yeah, it sounds like fun garbage. I have no idea about this person other than Goddess Mode. It's I've heard the Gamergate thing, and that's what pointed out the whole culture war to me.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond the culture war itself, I wasn't exactly into the Gamergate. Just it was just, oh, okay, people are saying this and they're saying we can't say that. Okay, I'm against not being able to say that. So.
Well, one thing I thought was pretty interesting. I mean, during the time period, like I was doing a lot of traveling. That's part of the reason why I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on. I had no idea, but I started seeing like all the gamer articles, the gamers are dead articles, and there was one I distinctly remember called "Your Princess is in Another Castle" or something like that, and it's like. It seemed to have like really come out of nowhere, not knowing about what happened with Zoe Quinn. It was just really kind of bizarre. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I started seeing on Facebook, and that's I want to say probably later is when I started kind of noticing what was going on with the whole social justice and culture war stuff. But yeah, Gamergate is really what probably started the culture war.
Okay. It just kind of introduced it to people. Elizabeth, excuse me.
Sure.
If you don't take this chocolate orange out of here, I'm going to eat it and fall asleep again. That needs to be gone. Yeah, she's taken off. Have fun. All righty. Okay.
Well,
sorry to just completely derail the show there.
Well, damn you, Anglantine.
I know. Have you ever had the thing where like you take a nap, but you don't feel refreshed from it, and instead your body just feels like, ugh?
Yeah, there's definitely times where I've woken up from a nap and I feel sluggish as hell. That's definitely
exactly how I feel right now. Just and I'm a little bit. It's almost like the other night when I was drunk, except for I know I'm not drunk.
Mm-hmm.
It's like being drunk without having to suck down a whole ton of Fireball whiskey.
Is that what you're drinking, was Fireball?
Yeah.
You poor bastard.
Hey, and Vankman and Fragminion made sure that it was done by the end of the evening.
Wow. Were they holding a gun to your head? What? I mean,
no, it was a shot for a super chat.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, and by the end of it, Elizabeth here was running the show. So, thank you.
Right on. Okay, here's something interesting. I just kind of noticed here in the tweet.
Okay.
So it says, I could not include that part. I'm pretty sure I've seen you make someone faint at karaoke once. So yeah, this is apparently somebody they've actually hung out. It's not just like, hey, we have good terms online. These are obviously two individuals who have met. So yeah, that's kind of a big. That definitely need to be disclosed. If they're hanging out and doing stuff, yeah, that's crazy.
And was it feigning in a good way or a bad way? I mean,
well, she was talking about her singing voice. Apparently, very early on, right here is where Zoe Quinn goes, "Oops, I did not mean to click on that."
That's what I'm saying. Is it a matter of good singing or bad singing? Are we,
Well, she basically says, I tear up a little at this. I'm not going to lie. Lorna's an amazing writer, advocate, singer, and all-around person. But you all probably already knew that. Yeah, well, this is the part where she's talking about the singer. God damn, I keep clicking on that. Anyway. So yeah, and then she goes on and starts talking about this is a no, that was Lauren. So this is the where Laura, excuse me, I keep calling her Lauren. Jesus, I'm not even drunk too. That's not fun. Where she's talking about her piece on her final piece on The Verge, and somebody ends up asking what it was. This is a lovely thing to hear in response to my final piece at The Verge by someone I respect immensely. Also, it probably says something about me that my most immediate point of pride was that, yes, I'm a good singer. And she basically was pointing out what Zoe Quinn said. And here we go. Yeah, I mean, I could not include that part. I'm pretty sure I've seen you make someone faint at karaoke. So yeah, that's it's definitely not good to be a journalist.
Well, it's pretty much admitting, as you said, that this is a relationship that has gone, so without saying it, I mean, heck, even when I do those Marvel versus DCs, I flat out say, hey, I'm a huge DC fan, so I definitely have a bias here. You got to let people know where you're coming from. That's just the way it has to be, whenever you're doing something like that.
Yeah.
But at the very least, you could say, hey, I'm doing this review of the comic, but man, this woman can sing. It's just courteous.
Yeah. But the thing I think is pretty interesting, because they start getting into talking about, journalism and, ethics in journalism. And it's pretty interesting. And this is actually, I guess, from The Verge's guidelines right here. We do not allow reporters to cover people or companies where they have a personal conflict. And that's basically what you have here, is a personal conflict. So this makes me kind of wonder if Laura was dismissed because of this article. Because
you would have to wonder, though, would they really dismiss her off of one article, or is this something like maybe she did something before and this is like the last straw?
I don't know. That's the thing. It's all very hush hush, and obviously Laura's not going to say what it is. But you do have this tweet right here. It says, "I didn't know you were leaving The Verge. You've done such wonderful work, and this blah 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 final send off, whatever." And she replies back, "I'm not so much leaving as being quietly exited stage right. But I appreciate the praise nonetheless."
And she doesn't like Snagglepuss because he's over there on stage left.
Yeah.
That was a bad joke. Anyway.
Yeah, I know.
I think one of the things, if we're looking through this and what you're saying, the one glaring fact that we seem not to be talking about here is the fact that The Verge is a horrible name for any kind of news article or anything.
A news website, The Verge.
Yeah, it definitely that was a bad choice.
Why do you think that?
It's just The Verge. What does that mean as far as new? It's like I don't know, in desperation, changing your YouTube channel from your own name to I Love Comics. It's just not all that great.
Yeah, fair enough. That's funny. I never bought Nintendo Power. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about Nintendo Power. Damn, I'm old.
The magazine?
Yeah, the magazine. I was like, Nintendo Power. He's talking about the Power Glove. No, the magazine. Yeah.
I remember when that first came out. I'm old. I admit it.
Yeah, I am too. But I agree with Not a Star. Gaming journalism died years ago. And I guess you could probably say the same thing about comics journalism as well.
Yeah.
And probably movie journalism and TV journalism.
That is part of, I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt. I did just finished a video where I had done like 3 or 4 news stories, and I was formatting it and fell asleep before I could load it. Talking about all these news sites, it was like one from each, including Bleeding Cool, which I gotta say, and I'll say this because I did one. They talk, and we could talk about this here if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Even though, hey guys, also watch the video, please, because I worked hard on it. But Mile High Comics closed a shop. And no matter what you think of Bleeding Cool, you know, and I understand a lot of people don't like him, and I understand that. I'm not a big fan of Rich Johnson either. He's, I guess if I have to name two things I really don't like about Rich Johnson, it would be his face. The thing, though, is I've got to give him credit that he is on top of all the comic book stores closing. You know, and every week he's talking about 2 or 3, 4 different comic shops closing.
Feisty actually sent me the link to the Mile High Comics newsletter that talks about this. I haven't read it yet.
I'd have. It's on the video.
Okay.
Yeah, that was. I ended the video with it because I thought that's big. You know, when Mile High has to shut his doors, and he was on a. I saw a video with him. I think it was the one. I think it was the one done by that guy Cy Sperling. I forget the name of it, but he was talking about how you're just not making money as a comic book shop going to the comic book convention. So he's been talking for a while now about how it's hard to get people to buy individual new books, just based on, and of course he goes on about the price now. He really railed the industry for their prices.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. I mean, $8 for the wedding issue for the Fantastic Four. I mean, I thumbed through it, and I was like for a second kind of contemplating buying it, and I was looking at it. It's like just some of the art just didn't look all that great to me. And I was like, this isn't worth $8 fucking dollars.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. I did not say it's the price versus, but yeah, you're right. When you do consider the price, it does take it down a bit. But
well, and the other thing too,
it's ridiculous.
There's only one Dan Slott book I paid $8 for, and it was, his Spider-Man book, the Amazing Spider-Man book, because I did enjoy that run. I don't think it was worth $8. Yeah,
nothing with a modern day price tag is worth $8.
No,
if you're buying something and it says 35 cents in the corner, okay, I can get the $8.
Well, hell, I mean, even I know a lot of publishers are doing this, but even like $5 is pushing it. $5 fucking for a comic book. That's ridiculous. Did I lose you, E?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I was hearing some like noise in the background, and suddenly it went quiet.
Oh no, I turned off that was the air conditioning. I turned off the air.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. But yeah, like I said, even $5, man, I think is pushing it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is. I am not against them going to newsprint, doing the whole Peter Simonetti thing. Let's get the prices down.
But I don't think they will, though.
On one hand, I'm for it. I just don't want to see it hurt Alterna Comics when they do so. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. This is kind of my thought behind it. Even with the glossy print, I don't think that is what is driving up the cost. I think the reason why we see the increases specifically with Marvel is because they're not selling as much, and they're making up their losses by increasing the prices.
Yeah, I could see that. That's kind of like suicide, but it's just driving the people who you do have away. Then again, if they drop their prices, it just makes it more accessible for people to try it brand new. So many of us have done some sort of video or some sort of tweet about this. About the fact that if they just lower the prices, make it so people can go, okay, yeah, I want to check that out. Nobody's going to take a chance on $8 book, considering for $8 you can almost actually buy a real book.
Hell, for $5 you can buy an actual book. I mean, last I checked, I haven't purchased a book from a bookstore in ages. But last I checked, like actual novels were like $5-6. So
Actually,
I don't know.
no, I think about it. I haven't shopped for books. I haven't shopped anything but the discount and like Ollie's and all that kind of stuff. Man, I don't. I know a lot of people are going off on the Ollie's thing where they have like, oh, we got $2 million worth of graphic novels. It's like, oh, ha ha ha, look at this shit. And I'm like, yeah, good. I want to go out and buy those things for real cheap. I don't want to pay 25 if I can pay 5.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's see.
I have replenished my collection over the last year since they started doing that. Very happy about that.
I guess it's not an entirely bad thing.
Not for the customer.
I do think it's kind of a sign of the weakness of the industry or something. Either they're overprinting or I don't know, man. I don't know much about how often that they've been doing this, where they've been going and offloading all these books. I don't know if this is something that's recent or if it's been going on over the years or.
Well, the first I noticed was this year. They started at the beginning of the year with a whole bunch of DC comic trade paperbacks and hardcovers and such. I got a ton of, I got a great collection of the Neil Adams Batman art. There's like 3 books that were $50 originally, and they're beautiful collections. And I got them each for $6.99. So yeah.
Wow, not bad.
Very happy.
This is interesting. So Dr. Vaben is asking, how's the fog down in Florida? I heard people were leaving their cars on the road and walking home.
No, we've dealt with fog before.
I have no idea.
I didn't see any of that. Yeah. It was a couple of days ago. It got really foggy. Today it wasn't bad at all. And it's January and I'm turning on the air conditioning. It's Florida. But generally, no, you don't do that. If it snowed down here, we'd freak right.
Yeah, of course. He said, Dr. Edmund is saying that was back on New Year's.
Oh, I don't know. I stayed in.
Were you having fog apocalypse?
Yeah. Fog apocalypse. It's fun.
So have you read up on anything on what's been going on with Punisher season 2?
I heard there's the villain is going to be a we did this a while back, a couple days anyway, I should say. Like he's going to be a Christian alt-writer or something like that.
Yeah, Christian fundamentalist and alt-writer.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's kind of funny because in the first season I was telling people, "Oh, you're chasing SJW ghosts," and this time they're just announcing, "No, England team, we're going full Trump." Just what do you call it? TDS.
Trump derangement syndrome.
Trump derangement. I can't fucking talk. I'm gonna end it. Yeah, it's that exactly that. It's just that I fucked up my joke too. But they went full Trump derangement syndrome, and okay, we'll see. That's what I'm thinking. We'll see. I hope it's good. I'm just kind of rolling my eyes up at it. It's like one of those things. Just freaking do it. Don't announce that you're going to be stupid. Just do it, and let us make. Because already, I've got a wall up on this show. I'm going to be watching it with my eyes all prepared to roll. Just don't talk to me about it. Just show and let me see if I notice or something, because they did that thing with Kingpin. They said, "Oh, well, we're going to make this out. It's going to be a Trump allegory and it's going to be," and then I was like, yeah, actually it was just one episode, one speech. It wasn't really all that bad. And in the end, Daredevil last year was my favorite TV and or movie based on a superhero.
Right. And
yes, I do include Avengers Infinity War in that. If you put all things together and just go, what's your favorite? I'll put Daredevil season 3 over Avengers Infinity War.
Well, and here's the thing that annoys me, and I mentioned this earlier in the stream before you were on. There are so many different things that they could tackle and make it socially relevant. I brought up human smuggling. He could be going after human smugglers. He could be going up against the cartels. It could be terrorism. But Christian fundamentalism isn't relevant anymore. It really isn't.
No.
It's like you have the Westboro people. Nobody gives a shit about them. Yeah, they protest. They're dicks. Nobody likes them. And with it's funny. I almost called him Al Franken, but it's not Al Franken. It's the dude who led the church that died. I can't remember his name anymore. God damn it, Fred Phelps. There we go, Fred fucking Phelps. Nobody gives a shit about Christian fundamentalism anymore. It's not a problem. This isn't the 80s. It isn't the 90s. You know, they're not screaming about video games and Satan anymore, or Dungeons and Dragons and all this other fun crap. They're just not relevant. And there's so much better things they could have picked other than that, because, well, you know what? They're not going to fit anybody by going after straight white people and their religion.
That's actually what I feel, or I've heard other people even say about gay rights. When you see somebody, oh, we need equality. You got it.
Yeah.
Next. You know, it's welcome. You're no longer the victim. Have a good time. You know, it's like they're almost sad because, you know, the demon had been slaughtered. Now what do they do? What do they complain about? And how are they victimized? And it's just the same thing. You know,
it's one reason why they go after microaggressions and all this other crap. It's because it's like we're talking about the other day with the whole idea of the relevancy of a movement. Once you get what you want, the movement, it constantly is looking for something new to scream foul.
Yep, that seems to be going on right now with the whole, everybody's so racist. Everybody, no, they're not. It's done. There are racists out in the world, but the world is not racist anymore. So, you know, it is kind of weird. Oh, racist is bad. Nobody's arguing with you on that one. You know, it's just not exactly a fight that needs to be fought, really. Occasionally, some jackass is going to pop up. Okay, we all ostracize them. Have a good day.
Yeah, and Vinafan's pointing out, when I think about the Punisher, I don't think Frank going up against Christian alt-right. I see him more going up against Nazis. I'll be honest with you. I feel like Nazis have gotten kind of cliche at this point, especially when we live in the age of everyone being called a Nazi. I just don't see them as relevant as they used to be. It's like, yeah, back in the 90s, man, there were Nazi punks. Everybody hated them. All the fucking punks made fun of Nazi punks. Nobody liked them. You know, in the 80s, you had the Dead Kennedys singing, you know, Nazi punks fuck off. I just don't see them as a threat as they used to be. And it's mainly because they never really had any real institutional power, at least not in the US. So I don't know, man. To me, Nazis have always been a joke. Not to be, and I'm not going to downplay the fact that they aren't scary, dude, because I've been in some very unfortunate situations where I've been alone with Nazis and I got the fuck out of there because, you know, most Nazi skins are big fucking dudes and they know how to fight and they'll beat your ass. Yeah, that I would say at a street level, Nazis are scary. At a social political level, not really. You know, they're not fucking pulling the strings. They're not in charge. They're not in the presidency. Maybe you have some in Congress, you know, because there's that one dude who was apparently pretty fucking racist. I don't remember which congressman. I think maybe he lost at this point, but I don't know. It's they're just not really a threat. Yeah, not to America, and I don't know. Maybe give it a few years. If they actually get institutional power, then maybe we should be afraid. But I don't see that happening.
As far as the threat and such, I worry more about these ignorant dumbasses coming out of college and actually voting.
Oh, you know, yeah.
Those are the ones I'm afraid of.
I'm more afraid of, you know, leftist identitarianism than I am.
Well, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah. Well, that's
people. Because they're the ones that are very much about, we don't need that free speech. We don't need that's free. If you look at the last 2 years, the media
Mm-hmm.
You know, with these kids, everybody, everything they're talking about is getting rid of yet another amendment to the Constitution. You know, you had at first it was the gun issue.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was free speech, because those people say something bad, therefore we should get rid of all free speech.
Well, it's
You know,
because they're
those people over
equating,
there doing bad, we need
words
to
to
get rid of
violence.
yeah. And then with the what was his name? He was a big deal while he was being appointed to Supreme Court. That was getting rid of the Sixth Amendment, which is our right to due process. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we just have to believe the woman no matter what they say, unless they accuse one of us. You know, they're just so happy to be getting rid of all of our rights that, yeah, I'm afraid when these fuckers get the right to vote, because CNN's going to tell them this is the amendment we need to get rid of today, and they're going to go, okay.
It was pretty interesting. I was pretty recently, I was talking to somebody about the whole thing with, you know, the right to a fair trial. Specifically, we were talking about the whole thing with rape and accusations and whatnot. And she asked me, what does it take? I was like, for there to be proof beyond a reasonable doubt. That's how the system's set up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know, we can't just incarcerate people based off of an accusation, based off of, even if it was corroborated. You can't just like throw people in jail because that. You have to have proof beyond a reasonable doubt. And the thing that kind of frightens me about all this is that they don't understand at some point in time this will be used against you. This mindset is dumb.
Yeah, it really is. They don't see it. They see it as the other person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that person over there. That's who you have to worry about. You know, I always say, like, they're going to all the what is, oh, I'm sorry. Venom is saying that their Venom guy or fan in the comments mentioned that these college kids want to bring communism. See, they think they're going to be at the top of the communist chain, but that's not how it works. If you don't have the in, that's protect. It protects the rich a damn sight more than capitalism does.
Well, the other thing too, I think is pretty funny is that, you know, they're part of the bourgeoisie that they're complaining about. All these people who are communist are rich white kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, you guys don't get the fact that you're going to get the bullet. Mr. Roboto is back in the house. Yeah, you were getting kind of robotic there for a bit.
Oh, sorry. I did move my microphone a little bit. Yeah, I've seen more rich white kids in these news stories and such being offended for black people than actual black people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the funniest thing to me. It's they will and then they'll fight. They'll argue with black people that they you're not a real black person because you're not offended as much as I am about the same thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's some of the funniest shit I've seen.
Yeah, it really is, man. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. So, any other stuff you want to talk about?
Nah, man. I don't. I'm still just kind of waking up. Let's see because all the stuff I talked about, I'm about to drop a 20-minute video on. Yeah, let's talked about the freaking hell did I talk about today? Oh yeah, it was one of them was just a simple top 5 anime of the year because I had to drop in a little bit about how my channel got one punched.
That's really funny.
Whoops. Yeah.
There's one punched by One Punch Man.
Yeah, I have no community strikes. That's the funny thing. Nobody hit me with a community strike. There's no guideline strike, yet I can't live stream. So I did fight it today. I sent all the thing, I sent a message to them and I did the request thing. So we'll see how that goes. It just, it's just weird. And what else? Oh, and I talked about Brian Michael Bendis has done fucking Superman, so he's decided to turn his attention to the rest of the DC universe.
Oh fucking Christ! What is he doing?
He's doing one of the 2 titles I really cannot forgive him for, and that's Legion of Superheroes. I love the Legion of Superheroes, man. I mean, if you guys ever saw that one video I did that had, where I talked about how I started off as a comic book collector, one of the first books I read was Legion of Superheroes, the Jim Shooter years. So, yeah, I'm a huge fan, and now Brian Michael Bendis is going to have his hands all over it. He sent out
what the fuck is DC thinking?
I have no freaking clue.
I mean, seriously, I'm worried about him getting his hands on Batman and Wonder Woman. And
he's doing a Batman and a Wonder Woman story also, because he sent out these. What it was is he goes, okay, we're going to be sending out. These are teases for things that I'm doing in some way, shape, or form. And one of the images was Batman. One of the images was Wonder Woman. So congratulations, he's got the whole Trinity.
Wow. Oh, yeah, man, he's going to tank DC so hard. I mean, it's like, did they understand that, this is the Titanic being on a collision course with the iceberg?
And they were doing so well. Oh,
I know.
See what Fragmenia said? Yeah, England team is fighting the strike, which means he should get his live stream hearing in about 5 months.
Yeah. Oh, so we're gonna make sure, even though you can't stream for 3 months, since you're appealing, and it's gonna take 5 months to get to it, you're not gonna be able to stream for 5 months. Oh God, that would be terrible. That would be absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it is weird. I feel for the male Legion superheroes. So long as Cosmic Boy still has that open shirt thing, I'm fine with that. I thought that was one of the ugliest freaking costumes of all time. The black kind of halter top with the strings across, where it's an open shirt. It's the most ridiculous costume you could ever see.
Well, I guess we're going to be getting Effeminate Lobo back. Oh, Fragment, this is great. DC is great at yanking defeat out of the jaws of victory.
I know, man. They were doing so well. Everybody was loving Rebirth because you're getting shit and you're getting all the replacement people over at Marvel, and DC's just doing everybody right. And for a while, even Wonder Woman was being done well half the time with what's his name, Pack. And damn, now they do this. Now they pull this crap.
Yeah.
First, they get rid of Tomasi off of all the Superman titles for Bendis, and now they're giving him the rest. OMAC is one of the titles, and let's see what else. Oh, they advertised, of course. He advertised the Superboy stuff. Then one person I actually couldn't tell what the picture was. So, yeah.
So Eric Breen's asking, can you ask the old man why he can't stream from Jack's channel? So
that silence should tell you that I have not actually considered that. To tell you the truth, I was like, wait a second.
Oh, there you go.
You have a point. Jack can host the streams, can't he? Shit. Yeah, I did not think about that.
Yeah,
I'll ask him.
My only advice would be to be careful about doing stuff like that. I mean, that's how they dinged what's his name from InfoWars.
What, he streamed on other people's channels?
Yeah, he's streaming on other people's channels.
Well, I'm not hosting the stream. It would be the same as doing this.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'm not hosting, and if Jack's running the stream, then he's the one that's hosting it. I'm, of course, might be hosting the show if we do a like if I could use his computer or something to do a Thunderdome or something like that, or that would be really cool. And what really sucks is I really did want to do that comic book show, you know, like the movie show we do with Rob. You know, where we just bring up a topic, or we bring up a year or a decade or something, and we just talk about, you know, the best and worst of the year, you know? I think that would be kind of cool. No,
So
no.
why haven't you done it yet?
Because I lost my streaming. It was literally I asked people. I had asked people, "Hey, who reads comics anymore?" Because I've been getting the feeling that a lot of the people calling themselves comics gators these days aren't really interested.
Huh.
And so I was like, okay, I want to know if there's an audience for it. One, is there actually people who, if we start talking about modern day comics, are anybody really going to know what we're talking about anymore? Is it, it's weird for a comic book channel to actually have to ask this, but with the sheer hatred there is for modern day comics, which I've got to admit I've helped to nurture,
Yeah,
with the
we
negative
both
reviews and all
have.
that.
We both
Yeah.
have. But honestly, as much as we helped foster that, all that was because of the fact that comics were shit at the time. It's not like there's not good comics out there and everything's crap. I mean, there is stuff
No,
that's
there's a lot
good.
of stuff. I've just done 6 videos about the best and worst stuff. That there's good stuff and bad stuff.
But the issue is that being positive on the internet doesn't sell.
Yeah, that is true. Actually, no, I just saw, because going by these last 6 videos that I did with the best and worst independent, best and worst Marvel, best and worst DC, the worst Marvel did better than the best Marvel, the best DC did better than the worst DC, and the worst independent did better than the best independent. But I think that's because my thumbnail for the worst independent was the Tremendous Trump, and that's just a funny looking cover. And so
the big orange man bad,
which I'm sorry, I'm doing that thing where I take over again.
It's okay. I was gonna say, so Fragminion is mentioning that borrowing someone else's channel would probably not be a good idea if YouTube caught wind of it. See it as you not respecting their authority.
Well, it would definitely have to be something like this, where Jack is running his channel and we're just doing the show and he's just part of the show. Obviously, I think if I logged on to his channel, I think that's where the problem is. I'm like, if right now, if we invited people on and we were the judges for a Thunderdome, I'm not running the stream, you are. So, but I don't know how YouTube would see it. But then again, if that was the case, then I couldn't even be a guest on a live stream.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's where it all gets kind of iffy. I think, like, if you're wanting to do Thunderdome, and part of the issue is that because your channel is, you can't live stream. If somebody else was to do Thunderdome, maybe because the name is called Thunderdome, maybe they could strike you that way. I don't know. It's YouTube is, their rules are very confusing.
I don't think there are rules. I think they make everything up as they go.
That's kind of my point, man. That's like the whole Patreon thing.
I don't like you, so now this rule applies.
I love Eric's comment. Comics have never been better. I must have fallen off the wagon. They're better than they. Well, I would say that Marvel has gotten better, than they were a year ago.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I mentioned, even in that infamous debate, is that we won. We won a lot of battles, and one of the battles we won was first of all, get our heroes back. Now we need to get them written well again. We got the heroes back. Riri Williams is in her own book. Iron Man's is in his own book, and for some reason, Riri Williams is now better than Iron Man. Go figure. But at least that's happened. Everybody's back to normal except for Iceman, but we're not ever going to get him back to normal, guys.
Probably.
That's just not going to happen.
So Fragminion is saying maybe someone could start up, say, a Blunderdome on a certain comics channel.
Maybe.
Call it Thunderdome.
I've been expecting that to happen on somebody's channel for a while now. Me and Division have talked about that, but certain channels just tend to love to do the same thing other channels are doing. So I've been expecting somebody to grab the Thunderdome from me for a while.
You know what? I have to say, his imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
I'm hoping enough people would go, wow, you're full of shit if somebody does that. You know, if somebody grabs onto an idea that's just so obviously mine, that it would just be, I just hope everybody would go, dude, that's just fucking low. You're a piece of but yeah, that's the one thing.
Yeah.
Comicsgate has served its purpose. I think in a larger sense, maybe it has. I mean, we're always going to be there to be vigilant, but as far as the grander scheme of as far as what brought us together, yeah, it's pretty much done. I mean, we're still pointing it out though. Vertigo is still crap, and still, it became crap this year. So,
yeah,
and I have a feeling
they're not hijacking, characters and good titles to do that. I mean,
yeah, Superman's not SJW. He just sucks.
Yeah, that's because of Bendis more so than anything else. If you had this stuff infecting, Wonder Woman and Batman, Green Arrow has always been a social justice warrior. So,
I actually can forgive it there.
Yeah, you can't complain about him. But yeah, if they're going and making these radical changes and replacing, Superman with a black man or whatever, and as has been pointed out in certain alternate timelines, Superman has been black before. It's not a big deal, but it's just they're not pulling a new Coke, and that's what Marvel did. And that's the reason why people got so pissed, is because, and it's pretty funny because I made this analogy, when I first kind of got into Comicsgate, and I was talking to Mars Bar. I can't remember the dude's first name.
Ron
Mars. Thank you. I was talking to Ron. I wouldn't say I was talking to him. It was a rather one-sided conversation on my part. But I tweeted and I was saying, I tried the new Coke. I don't like it. I want my old hero. I want the original heroes back. I want the original formula back. And that was like the kind of the complaint, It's like, and I did read these books, and they just didn't fucking live up to it. They weren't good. And that's the problem. But DC is not doing that. They have Goddess Mode, and Zoe Quinn, and unfortunately it's tanking Vertigo, but they're not actually going and ruining their property, with the exception of Bendis. But
and you want to hear something really funny for those of you who don't follow Green Arrow? He actually went against a villain called the Citizen this year, who was an extreme social justice warrior.
Really?
I mean, he was. Just that. Oh, this is a 1%er, and we have to kill him. This guy doesn't believe in. It was like it literally was like these college kids that you see, except for he really did take it to the extreme where he's killing people. It's like the bike lock guy, but to the most extreme. I love that. I was like, holy shit, because this is a classic liberal, as far, and actually, even in the beginning of Green Arrow, he was announcing himself, well, I am a social justice warrior. And then, later there's a storyline where he's going up against what we would call a social justice warrior. Yeah.
Well, and that's the funny thing too, because Nick Spencer did the exact same thing in Captain America. Yeah, the Sam Wilson run, where he goes up against SJWs.
Oh yeah, for the ones that were at the studio.
Yeah.
But we found out that was a smoke screen, because then he made Captain America a Nazi.
I know.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because there is a difference between classic liberal and, of course, you're a liberal, and the thing is,
I don't really call myself a liberal. I'm left of center. I'm not a liberal. Okay. I'm more of a centrist.
But the people we usually argue about, where, oh well, of course, social justice, that's being a hero and that's great, and no, you're not getting the definition. And that's why they think that we're a right-wing group, or the dumbass. Alt-right is going to be the new Nazi, as far as words that just don't mean anything anymore.
Yeah. Well, even Nazi doesn't mean anything anymore. That's the thing that really pisses me off about all this, is that Nazis were scary people, legit scary.
Yeah.
Now, because it's been so watered down, it doesn't have the impact like it used to. It's just like, because they call everybody left of Bernie Sanders, excuse me, right of Bernie Sanders, a Nazi. It's just like, what the fuck? Yeah. Venom Fan says, I'm a centrist too. I call out both sides. Yes, I do the exact same thing. It just seems that a lot of it seems to be coming from the left these days. I mean, there's plenty of shit in the past I've called out, specifically, back to the whole Christian fundamentalist thing. The religious right was something I've constantly called out, before, Facebook and Twitter and all this fun crap, back when they were relevant.
Yeah, I did too. They were the ones that were going after the heavy metal albums and all that,
But you also had that from
PMRC
the left
thing.
But that was from the left, though. That's the funny thing. That didn't come from the right. The right,
wow, yeah,
yeah, because
that's Al Gore and Tipper Gore, and you're right.
It was Tipper Gore. Oh man, if you've ever seen the interview with Dee Snider,
oh yes, I have.
Al Gore, oh man, that was some beautiful shit. Man, it's like you could see it in Al Gore's face that he wanted to jump the table and basically punch the crap out of Dee Snider, because I don't remember the question that Al Gore asked him, but Dee Snider's response back was, "I can't help it if your wife has a dirty mind." Oh yeah,
man. That pretty much says everything right there.
Yeah. But the other thing too, I thought was pretty funny is a lot of people didn't know that Dee Snider is actually pretty conservative and very religious.
Yeah. He's a kick-ass singer. I've got all the albums, by the way.
I love Twisted Sister, man. They were great.
Mm-hmm.
Tipper Gore was the original alt-right. But holy shit, man. I remember, like, back in the day too, you had the Dead Milkmen singing about the PMRC and calling out Tipper Gore. You also had, was it Sonic Youth, which is also very liberal, calling out Tipper Gore. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we grew up in good times.
We did, because it didn't seem as like dire as it is now socially with this stuff, with censorship. That's the thing I find kind of funny, is that there was a lot of unity between fans in the music industry to fight censorship, and censorship, coming from the government. And fighting the government is pretty freaking hard too. It's and the music industry won, thank God. And of course, we end up with a rating system. No big deal. That's fine. That makes sense to me. You want to make sure that you're not selling, NWA or Two Live Crew to 8-year-olds. That's always a bad idea.
I like the fact that black sticker made record sales go higher, though. You remember those? The black strong content and everything. And for a while, that drove the market.
Mm-hmm.
It went, don't put a sticker onto my album, to put that sticker on my album. Yeah.
The other thing too, when I turned 18, I went out and I bought the Lords of Acid album because I was 18 and because it was, adult rated. Just because. Mm-hmm. I only liked one song. It was the song they were playing in clubs all the time.
Me and my friends picked up a group called Cannibalistic Corpse just because the same reason.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Cannibal Corpse.
Not a fan, but picked it up because it was one of those records.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cannibal Corpse, Christian Death. Oh man, there's a lot of good stuff that came out in the 80s and 90s. So Dr. Vickman is asking, what are your thoughts on the latest C.K. Lewis stuff?
Okay, last I was there, he said the N-word with Chris Rock. What did he do now?
That's Louis C.K., not C.K. Lewis.
Okay, wait, what are we doing? Who's C.K. Lewis?
He wrote the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh, I'm so thinking about comedians because of that.
I know. Well, it's funny
Louis
because when I
CK.
initially read it, I was thinking Louis C.K. as well.
Now, what's the new stuff? I haven't heard this.
I don't know. Vickman, are you talking about Louis C.K.? Not C.K. Lewis. Sorry.
Did
We're
it
drunk. I
did it
guess
all of a sudden come out that he was gay, or there was some sort of controversy around the Lion, the Witch, the
okay.
Wardrobe?
He did mean
I
Louis
know they're
C.K.
okay. I was about to say I know they were redoing they're redoing the books into a TV series this time around. I'm very happy that they're doing that. I love the C.K. Lewis books, and I actually enjoy all three of the movies. So yeah, I'm looking forward to new C.K. Lewis stuff. As far as Louis C.K. with the last, like I said, last time I heard, he said the N word and everybody was mad.
Yeah,
Like,
there was that. There was something new that came out. Shit. I was Tim Pool's talking about it, and I've completely vapor
C.S.
locked.
Lewis, thank you, C.S. Lewis. Yeah,
C.S.
okay.
Lewis, thank you, C.S. Lewis.
C.K. Lewis. Yeah. Well,
Hey,
he
it's
incepted it.
easy. Yeah, it's easy to get confused.
Yeah, Venkman incepted it into my head, and there you go. And I'm talking. I love C.K. Lewis's book. It's C.S. dumbass. Yeah, him too.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, him too. Well, that's
I
the
don't know.
problem, man. There's a lot of pressure when you're live. You got to be on your toes a lot, and if you're a little bit tired and you know a little bit
Yeah,
lag,
that doesn't explain why I put the same mistakes in my videos.
well, there you go, man.
Uh,
Let's see. I know he said some stuff. It was like in one of his comedy routines, and somebody got offended by it. Is what it was. I think he's like been calling out a lot of the social justice stuff because you know how he's been hit pretty hard by the Me Too stuff. Um,
mhm.
my whole thing with this, okay, you know, the dude did some. Oh, you know what? It was actually I think weaponized nerd rage. That was the video I was watching. Um, it wasn't Tim Pool, but Tim Pool has covered it quite a bit. But yeah, so apparently there was like this leaked footage from a public event, and he made jokes that were offending people, and it's like fucking come on, people. Well, first off, I have to say, okay, yeah, the dude did some pretty stupid shit. My understanding of how things went down is that he did ask consent from these women, and the women agreed to him jerking off in front of them. So
Yeah, I heard that too.
I really can't say whether that is scandalous or not.
No, I don't.
It,
If he asks and they say okay, it's a sexual thing between a man and woman. Obviously, it's consensual. Weird, sure. I guess. I
yeah.
mean, that's your thing, I guess. But it's your thing.
I don't understand. I was like, if they truly had a problem, why didn't they just said no? Because apparently a woman did say no, and he didn't do anything.
Then there's no problem.
Yeah, but apparently the way people are selling, this is my problem with a lot of this crap that the Me Too movement's been doing. It's like they're selling as women as these weak individuals, and they can't say no. What's that?
You said women.
Women.
I like
yeah.
that.
women.
Yeah.
We're
not women. We're women with a Y.
Wimix.
No.
There was the whole Wimix thing too. That was funny.
That's worse.
Yeah. Did you hear about that? The Wimix thing?
No, but I don't doubt anything at this point.
All right, I'll tell you about it in a sec. But anyway, yeah. So apparently they agreed, and he did it, and that was it. And there's this, I don't know, man. I just don't get this attitude of women are basically are weak and can't say no or walk away.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I find just kind of preposterous is that. And I've talked to other women about some of this stuff too. It's like, I'm tired of people making it seem like women are weak, is what she said. And this is coming from a woman,
Well, they do. And I've mentioned this, you've mentioned this in video after video, live stream after live stream. The entire position of these social justice types is that women have no agency. Black people have no agency. Fucking hell, Ta-Nehisi Coates' entire existence bases around black people have no agency. All of their problems are because of white people, and the only way they're going to be solved is if white people do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous that is the way that's the way they're thinking. That's the way he writes. And I don't know. I'm just me, but I would be pretty freaking pissed. Thank you. I've made my own mistakes. I'll fix them. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So this is interesting. So Pop Size is saying, speaking of C.S. Lewis, he was friends with J.R.R. Tolkien, and yesterday or still today for Comics Division, it was his birthday. So happy birthday, J.R.R. Tolkien. There you go. But anyway, the whole Wemmicks thing was that apparently this college in England tried coming up with Wemmicks to say it was more inclusive and included trans women and women of color. And it totally blew up in their face because they're like saying the people who were pissed about the use of the term was like, what are you saying? Women of color aren't women. And it's just like, these social justice people, they can't fucking win when they use this type of logic because you're going to piss somebody off, first off, for suggesting that women of color are not women. That's kind of dumb. And as is, trans women don't fucking care. They just want to be called women or woman, female, whatever. It's like, whatever. It's kind of nuts. Where was I going with this? I felt like we're leading up to a point I derailed. My train got derailed.
I don't know. You tell me, where were you going?
No, it was just more. Oh, okay. That's right. We're talking about Louis C.K. Yeah, so apparently he just offended people, and people are outraged by it again. And at this point, as it's been pointed out, this dude probably gives zero shits right now because he's already at the bottom. Course. He has nowhere to go up, but nowhere to go up. Nope. God damn it.
Nowhere to go but up. Well, that's the whole thing. The first time it's like, okay, I may have treated some women disrespectfully. I apologize. Then another offense comes up. It goes, you know what? It happened. Then once it happens too many times, like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm going to be me. You don't like it? Go. I've already made my money. Have fun. Yeah. After a while, it's like, gosh, why are you even want to pretend like you're trying to placate these people?
Well, yeah, and he's not. That's kind of the thing.
You never will.
Yeah. Excuse me. But the thing that I find funny is that comedy has always been about pushing boundaries, pushing the boundaries of offense and humor and all this stuff. And you have people being offended by jokes. They're just fucking jokes, man. Move on. Get a fucking life. Anyway. So yeah, that's what's been going on. The dude doesn't give much of a shit because he's already hit rock bottom. He has no place to go but up at this point. So yeah.
I wouldn't give a shit if I were him either. As a matter of fact, I would start to do things just to see if I could piss more people off.
Yeah, he probably is. But the funny thing is, like, all these people who have been hit by social justice or the Me Too movement suddenly kind of like, I would say, do an about face on their stance with this stuff.
Yep.
Because they realize at that point they've been hit with the reality that their shit's out of control.
Yeah, because for a while, especially, I'm sure he was doing all that he thought he had to do in order to, maintain appearances and in order to be a good member of good standing, and you just can't. So, why even bother? Why even bother at that point?
Yeah, pretty much. It's
hate Jerry Seinfeld because he's edgy. That's wow.
I don't know. I've never watched Jerry Seinfeld's comedy. Is he pretty edgy?
No, not even in the slightest.
That's what I thought.
Not that he's bad. I mean, he's actually pretty funny. He's just very clean. You can take your family to him and not have to worry about it.
That's what I thought.
His TV show is actually more edgy than his stand-up comedy.
Yeah, Bob Saget. You're right, Ed Brewer. Bob Saget is.
Oh, I love that. Bob Saget and Buddy Hackett are my two comedy heroes because they did exactly how I do. I went to work at the theme parks, had to be very family friendly, and then behind the scenes in it, the house, just rip on into everything. A lot of fun. Bob Saget, man, he's one dirty ass comedian.
Man, I remember Dennis Leary used to be pretty edgy. I don't know if he still is anymore, but like ever since he got into acting, it seems like it. I don't know what his stuff looks like these days, or if he's still even doing comedy. But oh man, I love Dennis Leary from the '80s. That dude was fucking great.
Yeah, he was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
And we all have that recording of Asshole.
Because I'm an asshole.
Yoda yo, Yoda yo, Yoda. Yep.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I like the stuff. As a matter of fact, he's actually got a Christmas movie I watch every year.
Really?
With the ref.
Oh, yeah. The ref. That's right.
Yeah. That's one of my Christmas traditions.
Why do you smell like cat piss?
Well, it smells like cat pee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God,
it's a good movie. A lot of fun.
At the very end, when he goes on, he basically goes off on this little explosion. That was great.
Dr. Wong. Well, my father was Irish, and your mother wasn't. I like that line right there. Yeah.
Oh man, I really do worry about the future of comedy with all this stuff. Even like Sarah Silverman, love her or hate her, her older shit was fucking hilarious, and it seems like she's gotten really fucking PC with her stuff, or not PC as in, but just she's not funny.
No,
she stopped being offensive. No, Dr. Venkman, I've never watched Rescue Me.
Oh, Rescue Me is awesome. That is a good show. I do like that one.
Yeah, because that's when I think of him. I think of Rescue Me these days. I really don't think too much about his comedy. Let's talk about comedians, and still Rodney Dangerfield gets no respect. Of course, that's how it works with Rodney. He gets no respect. Norm Macdonald said Sarah Silverman isn't funny. Yeah, it's kind of true.
Oh, Norm Macdonald, man, you want to talk about somebody who's got it on the ball? I dig Norm Macdonald. He's funny as hell, and he's very smart. Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield for a while was hot enough to actually have a music video. It was called No Respect, but yeah. You remember that in the 1980s? It was a little rap.
I don't.
Yeah, there is a Rodney Dangerfield rap song called No Respect. It's out there, guys. I'm sure YouTube has it.
Holy shit, I think you're right.
I know I'm right.
You're spot on, Fragment, and Dennis Leary makes me think of Demolition Man. I love Demolition Man.
Demolition Man was good. That was great. That's one of Sylvester Stallone's best.
Oh, absolutely, dude. I love that movie. It's like part of the problem with like action movies these days is they don't capture that like quality from the 90s, man. You had, especially like with Demolition Man being a great example of it being serious enough but not taking itself too serious. It was serious where it needed to be, and it was campy where it needed to be. And yeah, Sandra Bullock, man, she was massively hot.
Yes,
massively hot in that movie.
She still is. She is still a pretty lady.
Yeah,
I'm not going to take that away.
She's still very attractive.
Now, especially now, because you get to add on for her age.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks that we're the same age, but
yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
she's a good-looking lady, and she did a couple of good movies in the 90s. Yeah, I like that one.
Mel Brooks, man, that dude needs to make another movie before he dies. I mean, just something like Blazing Saddles level of a satire and comedy.
I don't know if he still has it in him. His last few satire comedies from the 90s were not exactly that great. Dracula Dead and Loving It, and there was one about but that movie sucked.
Hang on a second. I need to throw something at the door. Tabitha was scratching at the door.
Oh.
I've been having problems with cats scratching stuff up. It's kind of annoying. Anyway, Yes, Demolition Man foretold present day tropes. Sadly, yeah, it kind of seems that way. Yeah, I'm waiting for them to install like these sensors in your home that detect when you use harsh language, and you get a fine.
Yeah, but at least we'll find out what the seashells are for.
Yes, we'll finally find out what the seashells are for. So see, toilet paper. That's my favorite line from that movie. God damn, dude, that's a movie you need to talk about on your movie.
I think so.
Your movie
Rob
stream.
Rob has been saying he wants to just talk about one movie, like we just go over every little bit of it, and I was like, okay, but we like what movie? And maybe that's the one. Maybe that would be the one. I'll bring it up to him. Right now, unfortunately, he's dealing with some family problems. His brother had a stroke.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's rough.
So I'll get a hold of him. I don't know if we're still going to be doing the show this week because of it, but we'll find out. Because this was supposed to be our best of 2018, which I am planning on being the very last of all the year-end review bits. Because I've been having fun doing that kind of stuff. With the best of 2018, the worst of
I was to say, are you gonna do the worst of 2018?
I did. I did them individually. I didn't like put it all together. And this is the single best and single worst comic. I just went by, Marvel, DC.
No, let's talk about movies, not actual comics.
Oh, we already did the worst. Thank you for noticing. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. It's the one with Black Panther on the front because Rob doesn't see a lot of movies, not as much as I do anyway.
Okay.
So a lot of his worst ofs were big movies. And he did not like Black Panther.
Really?
Yeah, not a big fan at all. Nothing, though, to him is worse than the Meg.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Actually, I think that was number 2 for him. So there might have been one more worse. But
that movie just looks so terrible. It had to be great.
The Meg, it should have been over the top. I do agree with him on that one.
Yeah.
It should have been over the top. Yeah. He went after Black Panther. He went after the Meg. He went after a couple of big ones. Number 1 worst film of the year for him was The Quiet Place.
Which one was that?
That was the one with Jim from The Office. And
okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, he went after some big dogs as far as the blockbuster is concerned. And I see more movies, so I've actually literally saw the bad ones. And I last week, because I knew we were going to do the worst, I went and found what are the movies with the worst, reputations.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and I saw those. So I had ended up watching like I Feel Pretty and all that kind of crap.
Oh, okay.
So, just so I could do that show, Sherlock Gnomes.
Oh my God. Okay, so that was specifically for 2018. I was like, whenever I think of bad movies, I always think of Dead Alive. Oh my God, that movie is terrible.
Dead Alive? You mean like the Peter Jackson zombie film?
Yes.
I kick ass for the Lord. That one?
Yes, that is like the only line in that movie that was good. That was great.
That's because most of it is silently killing zombies in crazy and insane ways. That movie is awesome, man. You're on your own on that one. No, that movie is badass twice. I love that film. There's a fucking sphincter chasing people around, killing each other, killing everybody. How can you not love this film? Sphincter, dude.
It's sometimes like some shit is way over the top, and that movie was just way over the top.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I forgot about the sphincter part, but yes, to me the highlight of the movie was "I Kick Ass for the Lord," where he's swinging the lawnmower around.
Yeah, he picks up the lawnmower and goes through him.
Yeah,
I kick ass for the Lord. That movie is just so badass. You are on drugs or insane or both. Not to like that one. Yeah.
Oh no, I think part of it for me is it just got old after a while. I don't know.
Well, now if you're talking about runtime and all that kind of stuff, yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, that was kind of it. It's like there is only so much repetition because that movie, all it is just as you said, it's about murdering zombies in really creative ways, and
Yes.
it gets to the point where it's repetitive, and I just got really bored with it.
Okay.
But mind you, I saw that movie probably like a decade or two ago. I could be like, wow, this movie's fucking great now. Because sometimes movies age well when you get older. I don't know. Like I said, it's just like when I just remember seeing it, I was just like, this movie's kind of boring.
And sometimes a movie you just watch at the right time. And yeah.
It's like, have you ever eaten something? It's like you really like it, but after like you can't finish it because you get tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically how the movie is for me.
Yeah, I do that with candy bars. Like, oh, wow, I haven't had a Baby Ruth in forever. And then it's just, yeah, I had my one bite. Anybody want the rest of this Baby Ruth? Yeah.
Yeah, there's times like that. It's like I really like coconut curry, but I can only tolerate coconut curry for so long before I'm like, I'm tired of this. I want to eat something different.
You're insane. I can just have that 24/7. I love all Thai curries.
Like I said, I have to have variety sometimes when it comes to food. And same thing with my movies. And it's just like I said, that movie just got it was like it was a splatter fest, and people that's sometimes that's what people really like in a film, and it's like I was kind of wanting something a little bit more from it.
I can understand that.
Yeah, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, yeah, I can understand that. But I've had good movies run too long. Of course, that happens, and I could see you thinking that about that movie. Because after a while, if it's like that kind of intensity for too long, it's just tiring.
Yeah.
So
that's a really good way of putting it. It just got tiring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very understandable. You want a little, not just a break, but there has to be lulls in there for you to appreciate.
Can I get 5 minutes, please?
Yep. And yes, I love Deep Rising as well. Yeah, actually, I had a friend look at me weird. I'm watching Deep Rising. There's a scene where two guys are running away from these tentacle monsters, and my friend goes, "Well, that would suck." And it said, "If that would suck if we were in that situation." I said, "I'd just shoot you in the leg." And then the guy does that on screen, and he looks at me and goes, "You would really shoot me in the fucking leg?" I don't have to outrun the monster, man. I just have to outrun you.
Yeah. Throw them Bobby. Nobody likes Bobby.
Yep. Yeah, he looked at me weird after that. Yeah, damn, I haven't seen that guy in a long time. But
hey. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah. That was kind of funny though.
So Dr. Baker was saying is that you should talk about Gung Ho, Multiplicity, and Mr. Mom, all Keaton movies.
Gung Ho is a lot better than what you would think or remember it to be. Multiplicity is a lot worse than it used to be. And what was the other one?
Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom, classic, still holds up.
Yeah, I remember watching Gung Ho when I was younger, and I was probably bored to tears. I'd probably enjoy that movie more now. I saw Multiplicity at a drive-in, and the movie was fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's not that great.
No. And Mr. Mom, I've probably seen more times than I can probably count. But yet I still can't remember what the movie's about.
It holds up. It really does.
Yeah.
Mr. Mom. Yeah. One thing that I always thought was kind of funny with Mr. Mom is it's the lead character is named Jack Butler.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Pope Size, you would think with a name like Gung Ho, it would be about G.I. Joe characters, but it's not.
Nope. Not even a little bit. It's about making automobiles. The Japanese come to America to open an automobile factory, and the Japanese way of working and the American way of working, and how they do and do not fit in with each other.
Yeah. And yet kind of merged it at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Nora from Tears was in it. Yeah, you're right. Let's see.
Yeah, he plays a racist.
Wow, it's obviously been a long time because I did not remember that.
A lot of them were on Crackle for a while. He had a whole bunch of films on Crackle for a while, so I literally saw them, like, just, you know.
And you're right, Fragminion. Cobra Commander was a used car salesman in the Marvel Comics.
Say what?
Cobra Commander was a used car salesman in the Marvel Comics.
Oh.
Before he was Cobra Commander.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, it just shows you that if you put your mind to it, you can become anything, even if it's a supervillain. Anyway. Damn, let's see. Did you get a chance to see Aquaman yet?
Oh, hell yeah. I'm waiting for the family to go see it on the big screen for the second time.
Yeah, I still need to go see it.
On the big screen for the second time.
On the big screen for the first time.
Not that it would be for the second.
No, I'm talking about for me.
Oh, okay.
I still need to see it.
The second through fourth viewings were not exactly on the big screen. Of course, they didn't look as good, but you know, you take what you can get.
Of course.
Yes.
Oh, let's see. Best early Keaton movie. Oh yeah, Johnny Dangerously.
Johnny Dangerously is fucking awesome. I love that movie. It's one of the best gangster spoof movies you're gonna find out there. Joe Piscopo, for once, is really, really funny.
Oh God.
It shoots through schools. It shoots through the trees outside the schools. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. My mother did that to me once.
My mother hung me on a hook once. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. One of my favorite of his, he did a movie with Henry Winkler called Night Shift, where they played morgue workers. Then they figured out that since nobody was around at night, they could be pimps.
Oh yeah, I remember that movie.
It's one of Ron Howard's first films, as a matter of fact. Funny as hell. Love that one.
Farking ice hole. Yeah, I remember that. That was
like ice hole. You son of a bitch. You son of a you bastard. You
bastard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Did you ever see Rosencrantz and Guildenstern is Dead?
A long time ago. Yeah.
Okay. I figured. I still have not seen that fucking movie.
There was a time. I think I saw every movie that was released in Orlando in the 90s.
Yeah. Well, you were a projector operator?
Yeah. I was I was a projectionist, and then I did.
That's it.
Yeah. And then I was a manager of a theater, and basically we would trade tickets. You know, if you want to see yours, come, you know, you show me yours, I'll show you mine, that kind of thing. So, we did that. And
Fragment is pointing out, fun fact, Johnny Dangerously also had the skipper from Gilligan's Island in it.
That's right. He played a dispatcher. He was at the end of the movie when they were running away from the cops, and they used shelf paper to change the color of the car.
I know. I was about to mention that.
Johnny, I love shelf paper.
Yeah. At the very end, it's like Duckies or something.
Yeah.
For the kid.
Yeah. I remember that. Good movie. Funny freaking film.
I know. Wow. It's either been like a very long time, or I just simply did not recognize the actor who played the skipper.
Well, it's not something you think about. That's not one of the classic bits, you know, like you remember the whole bit about him teaching his brother why he doesn't want to have sex, you know, because he shows the movie where the walking penis gets so excited the balls explode. You know, you remember that kind of stuff, but you don't remember the cop.
Yeah. Oh man. I'd probably recognize him now if I watched it, because like the last time I watched it was in the '80s when I was a kid.
Mhm. I've seen it more recent, but not. I don't think I saw it that. I think it was a long time ago since I saw it too. It had to be maybe 5, 6 decade, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
it's been a while. It's been a while. Groundhog's Day. That's a great movie too.
That was on Netflix up until the end of the month. Actually, December it left. That's where I saw it recently.
Oh,
Good freaking film too.
yeah.
Ned Ryerson. Punch.
Bam.
The one I like though is he said he comes up to him, he goes, Ned, and he hugs him, he goes, oh, I've missed you.
Yeah.
That's the one, the him approaching, that's the one I like, because he did the look on his face like, what? Ned Ryerson? Oh God, I missed you. Bill Murray's fucking classic. He is.
Yeah.
And
he
you know what?
is.
I don't know. Did I see it on Netflix or some streaming service now has Meatballs? I haven't seen that in forever in a freaking.
Oh, no kidding.
That'd be kind of cool to check out.
I also love the scene where he has the groundhog driving the news van. He's like, it was a truck. Don't drive angry now. Don't drive angry. They go right off the cliff.
Angry. Don't drive angry. Yep.
Meatballs. Holy shit. It's been a long since it's been a very long time since I've seen that movie.
Meatballs. Do you know what I always thought was weird? This is a summer camp, and they have contests with the other summer camp, right? Mm-hmm. But the kids don't participate. It's not like, hey, let's get the kids to do something. It's all the camp counselors that are participating. Like, wow, that's kind of shitty to do the kids. You guys wait here. We're going to go have fun. You never thought about that, did you?
No, I didn't. But like I said, it's been a very long time since I've watched that movie.
Those are some shitty summer camps.
God. Just think about the one that Jason Voorhees went to.
Well, yeah, that's a shit, yeah. Well, the summer camp was fine. It was the killer that was the bad part.
Let's see. You remember One Crazy Summer?
With John Cusack and Demi Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah. All 9 yards at the end. Yeah, I remember that one. That was when I was like, okay, does she take her top off? Does she take, that was before the Demi Moore boob job. So yeah.
I didn't realize there was a boob job.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, you could tell if you ever see a movie called Blame It on Rio, which would never be made today. Yeah, she does a nude scene in that one. And you could tell the difference if you go up to, and then you see striptease, definitely boob job.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember that movie.
Bobcat Goldthwait was in it as well. Oh yeah, but Bobcat Goldthwait. I love the whole thing where he draws the cartoons of the rhino.
Oh, I don't remember that movie at all. No, I just
don't remember that part of the movie. Oh my god! Nah. Yeah, he keeps drawing these cartoons, and like the bad guys were the cute fluffy bunnies, and there's like this one scene that was great where the rhino gets pissed and pulls out of a machine gun out of a suitcase and starts murdering the cute fluffy bunnies. It was pretty funny.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if Cusack was doing animation, because you also had that in like Better Off Dead. There's like that one like little animated scene.
Ooh, Thailand bringing up Stripes. Yeah. Oh, I love the animated scenes in Better Off Dead. And Stripes was actually on, I think it might still be on Twitter, or not Twitter, but Netflix. So it's definitely worth it.
Mm-hmm. You had a lot of people, a lot of good actors in Stripes, from what I recall.
Yeah.
John Candy in that also?
John Candy's in it. You got John Candy, Harold Ramis, another SCTV guy was doing the, what was the announcer for the mud wrestling. PJ Souls from Halloween and Rock and Roll High School is in it. Sean Young.
Mm-hmm.
Warren Oates from the Wild Bunch was in it. Yeah, it was a good cast. John Larroquette is in it as well. Yeah, tons of good people.
Man, it's been a while since I've seen John Larroquette in anything.
Yeah, well, he's got to be in his 70s about now.
Yeah, that's true.
Was that the Talking Horse movie Bobcat made with John Candy? What was that? Shit, what was that movie? Oh, I forgot the title.
Dude, yeah.
Usually I'm so good at these things, but that one I do forget. Because I know John Candy made Who's Harry Crumb, Armed and Dangerous, Going Berserk. I would like to do a song now with my dick. That's an actual line from that movie.
Yeah.
He's like hypnotized or on drugs or something, and he's making
I remember that. Yeah.
Let's see. He did shit. What were his 80s films? I actually liked Armed and Dangerous. Early Meg Ryan, as a matter of fact, in that one too.
So Eric Bree is asking me, have you seen Tapeheads with John Cusack and Tim Robbins? I actually have not.
Wait, what?
Tapeheads.
No, I didn't. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I always actually confused that with because it's got a similar cover to Eraserhead.
Mm-hmm.
Not Eraserhead, but shit. What am I talking about? Because it is Tapehead. It's the one with the Reefer Madness. It's got a similar cover to that, and I always kind of figured, it's going to be a ripoff. So I don't think I ever saw that one.
I don't think so.
No, I don't either. I just think I judged a book by its cover. That's all.
Oh, no, I totally have not seen Tapeheads. That came out in 1988. Yeah.
Hot to Trot. There you go, Dr. Bankman. Thank you.
Hot to Trot.
And Larroquette was in the Librarian TV shows, according to Maranya. And The Great Outdoors with Dan Aykroyd and John Candy is a lot of fun, too. Yeah.
Yeah, Hot to Trot. Oh, God. Yeah, I remember that.
Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck was great.
Yeah, that is actually a Christmas tradition for me. I know it's not a Christmas movie, but I watch it every Christmas. That movie's brilliant. I love that film. I love that film more than ice cream.
So apparently Eric Breen is saying that Tapeheads is one of the funniest movies ever made. So I will have to go check that out.
Yeah. Man, I love that scene at the school with Uncle Buck where he goes to, he's like, Maisie's, she's a dreamer. She's a flitterer. She's 6. I don't need excuses. And he goes off on her. And then just that whole scene where he's walking out, lights the cigarette in the window, the cigar. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I dig that whole scene for him. It's really good. John Candy was a freaking treasure.
Yeah, he really was. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Yeah.
I picked when we did the live stream about the 1980s, and we were talking about best and worst films and such like that, or best films anyway. And then at the end, I said, what is your most 1980s film? Like, what's the one that defines the decade? And you would say, this is it. My pick was Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I did that movie in all sorts of ways. So
apparently Fishbone did the music. Wow. That's interesting.
For Tapeheads?
Yeah, for Tapeheads.
Okay. And let's see, The Man with Two Brains. If you like me like I like you, and yeah, that's a lot of fun. The Man with Two Brains was actually one of my first introductions to Steve Martin.
Was that
understanding who he is?
Is that the movie where he gets possessed?
No, that is All of Me with Lily Tomlin.
This
is the one where he goes to a science. He is trying to figure out how to do brain transplants. He's got the screw top cranium brain, and he goes to a scientist friend, and he can actually hear a disembodied brain talking to him. So he ends up falling in love with this brain. And all the while, his wife, played by Kathleen Turner, is trying to flub him up because she's a bitch. Mm-hmm. And then there's a subplot with the Windex cleaner that's going around New York killing people. And it turns he wants to find a body for the brain to live in. So he goes about trying to figure out how to first find a good body for her and then kill her so he could then transfer the brain. It's a really weird, funny movie. I don't know, maybe the one scene that I remember we talked about in school after we saw it was the one with the hooker where she's like, I don't mind, you know, this. He goes up to this hooker and he's like, can I see you? And oh, that was bullshit. Can I see you? And she opens the coat and, you know, she's perfect body. And he's like, oh, mama. And then he says, how much? And she goes, well, it's gonna be. And then he looks at her weird. It's like, oh, it's my voice, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, that's funny because you talk about the whole thing with the brain and the hooker. Just reminded me of that bad movie called Frankenhooker.
Yeah, we talked about that one as well. That was pretty bad. And God. Kathleen Turner was hot back in the day, and yeah, you're right. She did not age well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Jerk was my first and probably best Steve Martin. I was born a poor black child.
God, that movie. That the intro of that movie, the beginning of that movie, made me laugh really fucking hard. Yeah. Especially when they're sitting him down to tell him he's not black.
Yeah, I like when he's feeling like an outsider. He hears jazz, piano jazz on the radio, and he goes, "Oh, what's going on? I can't believe." And he finds his rhythm.
Yeah,
it's like the worst white person music ever.
Yeah. Strange Brew, man. Oh, the McKenzie Brothers stuff was great.
Oh, I don't remember too much about that except for he puts out a fire by pissing on it.
Yeah, Rick Moranis, he gets they try killing him, so they throw him in this tank of beer, and he drinks all of it. And he's like this like giant bloated thing where it's just like his head and his hands and his feet are hanging out. It's really hilarious.
Yeah.
And so, yes, he puts out the fire at the brewery by peeing.
Yeah, that's about all I remember. I haven't seen that in forever and a day. That's the only thing I remember of that one.
So Tyan is asking, anyone see Zombie Strippers? That
that's
came
the
out
one with Jenna Jameson. Jenna
Jameson.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I think it was a different movie I'm thinking of. It was like the Boy Scout one. The Boy Scouts versus Zombies or something like that.
What a boring film. I was wanting that to be so much better. It's just dull to me. The zombie versus Boy Scouts, man. It was just, yeah. With that title, you should be over the top.
Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of like the Meg. The Meg should have been way
Scouts
over the top.
versus Zombies. Yeah, that's what it was called. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah,
it was
break the whole thing. Sorry. Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse? Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. I think that is the actual name of the movie.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, that's it. There was a movie that did the whole kid and zombie thing better. It was called Cooties that I highly recommend. It's got like, is it Rainn Wilson or is it the other kid, Elijah Wood? But it also had, it's got Rainn Wilson and Elijah Wood in it. It's funny as all get out. And that one went over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're gonna have that premise, you have to take it over the top.
Yeah, definitely. It's like I remember that movie coming out. I never watched it though. There's a lot of movies, man. I need to go and freaking watch. Like Monster Squad. That's a movie I never watched either.
Really? I have that on video. That's one that you're not going to see a lot of. Like you would not see that made today. Not in the way that they made it in the 80s.
I just remember the whole thing with Wolfman having nards and how kick him in the nards. And he's like, Wolfman doesn't have nards, and he kicks him in the balls, and Wolfman's got nards.
Yeah, that's the famous one. They sexualize teenagers, and at one point, even a little girl, because they're looking for a virgin. and they get this one teenage girl to agree to read this mystical passage because they accidentally took pictures of her in her underwear, and she's like 15 tops.
Mhm.
And then the virgin that they finally get to read the passage is like 6. It's like, okay. It's just weird stuff all throughout. I mean, there's child endangerment left, right, and center, and they would never do that today. Well, maybe Stranger Things is along those lines. Maybe they would. I just don't think they would in the cinema.
Probably not. I don't know. Excuse me. There's a lot of stuff I think that they wouldn't do because of outrage culture, which is pretty damn unfortunate.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Return of the Living Dead's really good, Dr. Venkman. I like that one. And it has Playboy Playmate Rhea Paez in it. So, yeah, I dug that too.
Was it Return of the Living Dead or Return of the Living Dead 2 that had all the punks in it?
Oh, yeah, Return of the Living Dead, the first one, that was the one with the punks.
Okay. God, I love those movies as a kid.
Yeah, they were fun films.
They were, because they were just so fucking retarded. They were really retarded movies. They were so over the top. I just love how it was like the whole cyclical nature of it. Like the whole, when they go to burn the bodies and the soot goes everywhere and it raises the dead once again.
Yep.
It's just like,
yeah, you can actually
more cops.
the making of, it's like an hour-long documentary of of the making of Return of the Living Dead is on YouTube. So I watched that recently. I was like, dang, these were good movies.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah,
and seriously, it's like they don't like make movies like they used to, and that's the thing that kind of sucks about it. And I think part of it is because of CG. It's CG is so way overused these days. It's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. They definitely. I think if they remade Return of the Living Dead, they wouldn't have Leona Quigley running around naked throughout.
Oh yeah,
they definitely wouldn't do that bit.
That like
and they even talked about the. They had even talked about that on the making of. Like originally, she was full blown.
Oh yeah,
full frontal. But
the only thing she was wearing was like socks or stockings or something.
Yeah, but the thing is originally they didn't give her a piece. Like eventually they made a mold and covered her. So because she was shorn down there and they were seeing a little too much. So they had to.
So they gave her a merkin then.
Yeah, well, yeah, they had to. Basically Barbie doll her. So what you're seeing, she's not actually full frontal in the movie because they had to do that.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I thought, yeah, okay. I always wondered about that. Why did they? Okay, I guess they had to cover, get the right rating.
Yeah. So Eric Breen is asking, so let's play a game. Name 180s movies that wouldn't be deemed problematic today.
180 movie that would not?
Yeah, would not. 180s movie that would not be problematic.
Back to the Future.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, okay. Keep away from kid films, obviously, as well. Right. Back to the Future, but you could see the bits with the incest as being problematic, I guess, maybe. But I think Back to the Future fits. Ghostbusters could be seen as insensitive to the religious.
No, I don't know if they would go that route. Man, that's a really good question, Eric. I can't really think of anything. I'm pretty sure there's something I could think of. Anything history can be deemed problematic because of whatever. Ah, man.
One thing that was problematic back then that would not be is a movie called The Patriot, where basically the United States was cast as the villain in the in the Revolutionary War. Now it'd be, oh yeah, you're right. We
Talking
Are
about the Mel
Villains.
Gibson movie?
No, maybe I have the wrong one. Maybe it was just called Revolution or something like that. It had Bob De Niro in it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I just gave it the wrong title.
Let's see. Iron Eagle. Maybe War Games.
One dream, one goal, one prize. Yep. Ooh. Yeah, War Games. War Games is pretty good.
Yeah.
That holds up too, except for, of course, the technology. You
It,
look at their
it always
computers and
made me laugh because, the computer system was called the Whopper.
yeah,
And I always thought of like Burger King.
Burger King. Yeah,
The Last Starfighter.
that was brilliant. Actually, I've heard they're trying to remake that now.
Last Starfighter?
Yep. So we'll see how that goes.
My prediction is that there will be a female lead.
That's probably a good prediction.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah.
Last
Starfighter. What's problematic? What's problematic in Top Gun? The whole fact that they started a war. They don't exactly mention that at the end of the movie, but that's what happened. They started a war.
Really?
Yeah. It would have at the end they get into some sort of dogfight.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So that's what would end up happening. I mean, they actually blew up some Russian airplanes. Yeah, we're at war now, guys. Thank you.
That's very true. Don't forget, there's the whole homoerotic volleyball scene.
Yep.
All right, Pope Size. Catch you later. Dirty Dancing.
Have a good night, Pope. Enjoy Great Balls of Fire. That would definitely be, even though that is history, because of Jerry Lee Lewis marrying his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
That would definitely.
That's another one. Never Ending Story.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of my favorite movies, and this is funny because it's a Tom Cruise movie. I love Legend. That is a great movie.
And so you say.
What? You don't like Legend?
I will. No, I was not a big fan. I will say that, and this is just like saying water is wet. Tim Curry is brilliant in it, and God bless him for acting underneath all of that, makeup. But yeah.
What I thought was pretty cool is I actually got the director's cut of Legend, and it doesn't have Tangerine Dream doing the soundtrack. It has the original score.
Oh, that's nice. It
actually makes it such a different movie. But I like both cuts with Tangerine Dream and the original score. That was really good. There's a lot of really interesting things about it. Shit, I can't remember the fairy's name, but apparently the actor that played the one fairy that is helping Jack had this very thick German accent, and they dubbed the voice from the actor who played Blix, the Goblin, and apparently the reason why is because it was too soon for World War II. they felt that American audiences would not like the fact that
40 years later.
Yeah, that was like the reasoning. It was really weird. Because he had that thick German accent, they felt that American audiences wouldn't like it. They'd make them the character would make people think of Hitler or something. It's something really silly. Because with that, it also has the director commentary for it. So that was like one of the things that he mentioned. I thought was pretty interesting. Funny. Yeah.
Well, I have an unpopular opinion. When the Blu-ray for Blade Runner came out, I bought the one with all of the cuts. There were like 5 different cuts.
Yeah, I have that too.
So I watched them, and I thought, you know what? This movie isn't that great. It's okay. You know, it's a good movie, and I can understand special effects were groundbreaking, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
But that is one slow ass boring film.
I will give you that it is slow, but I rather enjoy. You're right. That is an unpopular opinion.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I understand.
I like it. Because of the I'm a huge fan of kind of the cyberpunk genre, and that it's kind of cyberpunk. Definitely has the whole dark future going for it. That yeah. The funny thing is, I want to say there's like 5 different cuts of the movie, and I watched all 5 because I don't know. I'm
Because
lame.
you bought it, you might as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, there's a point in time where like I can't tell the difference anymore.
Yeah.
Between the various cuts.
There's the ones without the voiceover, and then there is the one with. Yeah.
There's the director's cut does not have the voiceover, and also has the whole thing with the unicorn and shit.
I'm with the director on this one. He's not a replicant. Well, obviously he's not a replicant now because we just saw, but he's not a replicant. We see the guy, okay, his calling card is he makes the origami.
Origami, yeah.
At the end of the movie, he talks about her. He went to visit her, but he didn't kill her because of his respect for Deckard.
Mm-hmm.
He even says something along the lines of the fact that, you know, no matter how you feel about her, she's going to end up dying soon anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too. It was always there to put doubt in your mind whether Deckard was a replicant or not. And I actually had the book, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, and I need to go fucking reread it because I don't remember whether he is or not. I want to say in the book he is, but I honestly I don't remember.
I don't know. I know that a lot of the movies that are based on his books are like the stories themselves are like 40 words long, yet they managed to make 2-hour movies out of them.
No, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep is actually a book.
I know that.
Yeah.
I was being facetious because a lot of them are like that. I know
Yeah.
Minority Report and Total Recall are both shorter stories than they are movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I always thought short stories were better to adapt because you're going to have to cut out less, or you can adapt more of it.
You know what I found a long time ago, and I had a lot of extra edits and cuts and director's cuts. Supergirl with Helen Slater.
Mm-hmm.
I found that. I saw it. It was, and I was like, you know what movie doesn't need a director's cut?
Supergirl.
Yeah. So when I picked it up, I was like, okay, this. I just want to get this because it is what it is. And wow, that movie, I love that movie for how bad it is. There's nothing good.
Well, that's one thing. I was funny. I was thinking about this the other day. You know how it's like we finally got a Wonder Woman movie just a few years ago. I was thinking, but we got a fucking Supergirl movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that was 80s or 90s, right?
Yep. That was in the 80s.
It was 80s? Okay, it was 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, how can we possibly get a Supergirl movie before a Wonder Woman movie? And of course, the answer is because of the popularity of Superman during that time period. But still, it's just like, what the fuck,
They did the Superman movie. It was popular. They did Supergirl. It was horrible. It was a horrible movie. And their lesson wasn't make a better movie. It was nobody wants to see a female superhero.
Yeah, yeah. And I talk about that with my wife all the time, where I feel that a lot of the times that some of these female-led movies are just the reason why they always say, oh, nobody wants to see a female-led movie is because the ones they do are bad. Elektra being a good example of that, as well as Halle Berry's Catwoman.
Yeah, that was pretty shitty.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually played and finished the video game for Catwoman.
Oh, yeah?
And I actually convinced myself I liked it. Like, oh, wow, yeah, I kind of like that game. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to play it more again. And no, that game's shit. It's like, okay, I could play it through the one time, but wow, I don't understand how I did it. That's weird. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I've done that to too many games where it's like I finished it and then after I played it was like that game was shit. Because usually if it's a bad video game, I don't even finish. That's
funny.
the power. That's the power of superhero right there.
Yeah, that's true. So John Carpenter's The Thing. That is a movie that does not need to be remade. And I know they tried doing that sequel to it, which was okay. It wasn't terrible, but there are certain movies is like they are perfection. Leave them the fuck alone. Yes. We don't need a remake. And
one of the I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, and The Thing is one of them.
Absolutely. Yeah, one of the things that made the remake worse than the original, or of course the remake, the John Carpenter remake, was the fact that they didn't go practical. A lot of it was CGI, and it was fake, ugly CGI.
Mm-hmm.
It should have definitely been better considering the times that it was made in.
Yeah. But even then, just like God, I just remember, seeing like I think it was like Fangoria, where they had like all the, scenes from The Thing, and just how, as a kid, man, I was just, this is like so disgusting and messed up. And crazy and creepy and scary. And that's why it made that movie so great. Even where the practical effects don't necessarily hold up, it's still fucking great. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell, yeah, he was great. Great in that fucking
Dr. Venkman saying, I still love Cuffs. I actually quote Cuffs quite regularly. And I'm just going to make myself look like a pig here. But I sometimes say to, hugs and kisses on all your pig parts. It kind of makes Gail laugh, but there you go. Yeah. That's one of my favorite quotes.
Oh, Christian Slater. Okay. I was like, why does that movie sound familiar?
On all your pink parts. Yeah. Christian Slater plays a loser who inherits a security company. One of Mia Jovovich's early roles, that movie was.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
She played Cuff's girlfriend in that movie. Yep.
That's fucking hilarious.
And then she went on to do Chaplin, where she played one of his wives. She was the one that he says we're having fun or something. She goes, "Are we? Is this fun?" or something like that. And then they end up getting divorced. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It's like what she's been in recently, because it's like there's Romy and Michelle.
No, sorry. Jovovich?
Yeah, no. I'm thinking of somebody else. Never mind, not Mila Jovovich.
Yeah. That's Mia. No, what's her freaking name? She's the daughter of Paulie from Sorvino.
Yeah, that's it.
Mira Sorvino is what you're.
Mira Sorvino. Okay, I don't know why I get those two confused.
Mira Sorvino is on Married. What is that? The Modern Family these days. Yeah, I watch that. It's a funny show. But yeah, really Mia Jovovich. She was in the Return to Blue Lagoon back in the 90s as well. Yeah. Mia Sorvino, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree, Fifth Element should be left alone.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that's another movie that doesn't need to be remade. Are they talking about doing a remake of it?
I don't know, but it should be left alone. That is one of those movies that is actually kind of it's silly and stupid, but brilliant all at the same time. And I have a feeling if they ever remade it, they'll just make it silly and stupid.
Yeah. Okay. I know that she was also in The Replacement Killers.
And what was that one about the bugs? The the big ass moths that look like regular people. I don't think they were hiding. Yeah, Gail loved that movie. I was not the biggest of fans of it. Get a lot.
Oh, okay. Apparently she is still doing stuff. Yeah, you're right. Modern Family. So who's she playing Modern Family?
She's the older sister, Haley. She's her boss.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't really been watching it. Okay. Gotcha.
She's a bit of a an airhead in the film.
Oh.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't realize that she's still doing stuff.
Yeah, still
That's
around.
cool. Man, I Replacement Killers, man, that's another great film. Chow Yun-fat, that dude's awesome. Yeah,
Mimic.
Mimic.
Thank you, Frag Minion. Yeah. Of course, he got his big American push after, what was that, Crouching Tiger?
Yeah, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a good movie. I've got the sequel on my Netflix queue, but considering it wasn't exactly getting people talking, I have a feeling it isn't all that great.
Which movie? Or which?
There's a sequel to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh, yeah. I did watch it.
How is it?
I want to say it was okay.
I would assume that Chow Yun-fat's not in it because of what happens.
No, he's not. Yeah, it wasn't bad for what it was because it was like it was actually filmed in English, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. You know, it wasn't the original, but it had some of the cast from it.
Okay.
Yeah, was it last year or 2 years ago? I was really getting big into martial arts films. You know, specifically Chinese martial arts films, and that I watched that along with a bunch of other stuff.
You ever see Silverhawk with Michelle Yeoh? She plays a superhero called Silverhawk.
No.
That's wild. It's not all that great, but it's pretty wild.
To check that out. All right, man. It's like 1 a.m. my time, and it's 2 a.m. your time. I'm tired.
Okay.
I think it's time to call it quits for me, man.
That's okay. I can. I've got work to do.
Right on. I got sleep to do. Wow. Maria Sorovich is 51. Wow, she looks about 30 on Modern Family.
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
Yeah, she is pretty hot. All right, man. Is there anything you want to pimp? Anything you got coming up?
Please watch the videos. Don't just subscribe, but watch to them because I ain't getting paid anyway other than through views. Let's see. Tomorrow is first appearance Friday. I was asked to do the Zatanna first appearance, so I'm going to be doing a little review and look at Hawkman number 4. And I'm doing a very narcissistic video that I want to do on the Disney Channel where I just go over all the dining things and put them and rank them basically on this channel. So, because I'm Mad About the Mouse. So yeah, please by all means check that out and check this channel out as well. Hope you enjoy stuff.
Yes. All right, guys. Please hit that like button. You know, if you enjoyed this live stream, please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Yeah, the usual stuff. I'm too tired. I'm just going to call it quits, guys. Good night. See you next time.